Hello.
Hello and welcome to That's English.
In this programme, we're going to watch another episode of Park Hotel.
And we're going to talk about past experiences. Experiencias pasadas. Past experiences.
Before we watch, here's a question.
What languages did Grandma speak?
What languages did Grandma speak?
Is this your first stay at the Park Hotel, Mr. Styles?
No, I stayed here last year. I was with my wife, and we stayed here a week. And we had a wonderful time. My wife did some shopping, and I went to the art galleries.
Lovely. Is she with you now?
No, she died 6 months ago.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No problem. I was very sad at the time, but I'm fine now. Anyway, last month I decided to come here with my family. This is my son Chris, his wife Sophie, and their children Oliver and Sarah. It's my birthday. We're having a family reunion.
Welcome and happy birthday.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
How was your journey?
I hate long car journeys.
You hate everything.
Why don't you all go for a walk? There's a beautiful park near the hotel.
What a good idea. How's school, Oliver? Did you pass your exams?
Yes, Grandpa. I worked really hard for 6 weeks. I was very bored.
Were you nervous in the exams?
Just a little. But then I answered some questions and I felt relaxed.
Why were you tired and annoyed this morning?
Were you angry with Oliver? Were you annoyed with me and Dad?
No, I felt sad, that's all. Thought about Grandpa and Grandma. I loved Grandma. Grandma was brilliant.
Yes. She was always happy. And she loved seeing you and Oliver.
Grandma spoke Spanish, French, and Italian.
Wow. Did you and Grandma travel a lot?
Mm-hmm.
Where did you live?
We lived all over the world.
Dad, where did you go to school?
I was at school here in England. I lived at a boarding school for 10 years.
Did you really live at school?
Yes. When I was at school, there were lots of things to do. I wrote letters to Grandpa and Grandma. I played football and cricket. And, of course, I went home for the holidays.
Grandpa!
Why don't we all go and have lunch?
Brilliant.
Come on. Where have you been? What have you been chatting about?
I think their grandma was really interesting.
I agree. Now the question.
What languages did Grandma speak?
Grandma spoke Spanish, French, and Italian.
That's right. She spoke Spanish, French and Italian.
Good answer. Grandpa and Grandma travelled a lot.
I think that's why Grandma spoke 4 languages.
In the episode, we heard people expressing duration. Expresar duración. Expressing duration.
What?
I worked really hard for 6 weeks.
I was at school here in England. I lived at a boarding school for 10 years.
He studied for 6 weeks.
He lived at a boarding school for 10 years.
Así que para expresar duración utilizamos for seguido de un periodo de tiempo.
Let's do some practice.
OK. I went to university for 3 years.
I went to university for 4 years. How about you, Nathan?
I went to university for 3 months.
Only 3 months? That isn't long.
Let's get back to the episode. The Styles are a really nice family.
Yes, I like the way they tell each other about their feelings.
Sí, ahora vamos a hablar de estados de ánimo y sentimientos, moods and feelings.
Let's watch.
Were you nervous in the exams?
Just a little. But then I answered some questions and I felt relaxed.
Why were you tired and annoyed this morning?
Were you angry with Oliver? Were you annoyed with me and Dad?
No, I felt sad, that's all.
How do you feel, Annabelle?
Well, I feel relaxed. How about you?
I feel uncomfortable and nervous. And you, Nathan?
Are you depressed? Are you tired?
Of course. He's in love. Está enamorado. Thanks, Nathan. Let's continue.
Now, as you watch, answer this question. Where did Chris and Sophie meet?
Where did Chris and Sophie meet?
Dad's in the bar. He's just ordering the food.
Gin and tonic. I drank my first gin and tonic with your grandma. I was in Africa. Before I was a businessman, I was in the civil service for 20 years, and I spent some time in Kenya. I met your grandma there at a party. Her family lived in Nairobi.
That's very romantic.
Grandma was very beautiful. I was nervous, but I decided to talk to her. We talked for a long time, and then we danced. Oh, look, here's a photograph.
She was really beautiful.
Yes. I asked her to marry me. I was excited, nervous, and worried all at the same time. But when she agreed, I was very happy. After we got married, we left Africa and went to Italy.
Where did you meet Dad, Mum?
We were at university. I thought your dad was very serious.
Oh, yes. We went for a walk in the country.
And we got lost. We walked for hours.
Then what happened?
Then we found a little hotel and stayed there.
Are you okay, Dad?
Yes, yes. After Grandma died, I felt very depressed for 2 or 3 months. But I'm okay now. Don't worry. Before she died, she was always relaxed and happy. I remember when you two were born.
Before you were born, we were nervous for weeks.
But Grandma was very excited.
Number 17.
Oh, look, here's our food. Number 17 over here, please.
Do you remember our holiday last year?
Chris wanted to go camping.
We got lost. We drove around for a long time. Dad didn't know where he was, again.
I was confused, but I knew exactly where we were.
Yes, after I looked at the map.
OK, we were lost, but we were a big, happy family.
To Grandma.
And to Grandpa. Happy birthday.
And to my lovely family.
Muy típico. Se perdió, pero no quería reconocerlo.
I don't do that.
Do you remember the question?
Where did Chris and Sophie meet?
Where did you meet Dad, Mum?
We were at university.
That's right. They met at university.
How romantic. Sigamos. Es hora de ver cómo describir experiencias pasadas utilizando before, after y when. Describing past experiences using before, after and when.
Watch.
I was in Africa. Before I was a businessman, I was in the civil service for 20 years, and I spent some time in Kenya.
Before you were born, we were nervous for weeks.
Before their children were born, they were nervous.
OK, let's talk about my life. Look, I learned to drive. Then I bought a car. So, before I bought a car, I learnt to drive. Before. Antes de. Before.
Now, watch again.
After we got married, we left Africa and went to Italy. After Grandma died, I felt very depressed for 2 or 3 months.
After Grandma died, Grandpa felt depressed. After. Después de.
Ashley started school after he was born. Of course.
Of course. And after I left school, I visited the USA.
Now, watch again.
Yes. I asked her to marry me. I was excited, nervous and worried all at the same time. But when she agreed, I was very happy.
When? Cuando? Ashley, when did you get your first job?
I got my first job when I left university.
Y para terminar, hemos pedido a unas personas que nos hablen de sus experiencias durante las vacaciones.
Yeah, but actually in my own country, I visited another state. It's not a very good holiday.
I do love Mallorca. I go every year. The reason I go every year is because all the family knows the place now very well.
I've had some great holidays. I went to Las Vegas.
Well, I went to Malia in Greece with 14 of my friends, so that was a really good holiday.
Yeah, really recently actually, in Corfu in Greece.
Went to Zakynthos. It's beautiful, blue seas, white beaches.
Italy maybe, yes. Northern Italy.
Yeah,
probably.
yes, we've had a few good holidays there.
Mallorca, Las Vegas, Greece, Italy. Those are great holiday destinations.
Where did you go on your holiday last year, Ashley?
Last year, I went to Greece, to Corfu. It was wonderful. What about you?
Oh, I went to Scotland. I like Scotland, but it always rains.
Well, that's all for today. So, goodbye.
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 Bye-bye.